What's happening, guys? VenomousFatman here, the most epic man in video game history, coming at you with a brand new OTGT. This time I'm talking about Dissidia Duodecim Final Fantasy, which is Dissidia 012, also known as Dissidia Final Fantasy 2. I know that's a lot to swallow on there, but here's the deal. I've been waiting for this game for a very, very long time, ever since it was first announced with the screenshot of the pre-rendered cutscene with lightning on the actual picture and stuff, and I was really excited because I love Dissidia Final Fantasy. That was my favorite game on the PlayStation Portable back, when it first came out, and I played the hell out of that game, and if I remember correctly, I got 100 plus hours into the game. I've leveled up every character to level 100. I played that game to death, so I was really excited when this sequel was announced. So when I finally got my hands on the sequel today, by the way, is the actual release date for it, but finally got my hands on it, and I have to say that it blows my expectations out the water. Everything that I thought this game was going to be, it is, and then a tons more. So here's the deal. The fighting is pretty much the same as the original Dissidia Final Fantasy, with a bunch of new surprises. Number one, there's a bunch of new characters into the game, including including Lightning from Yuna from Final Fantasy X, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, Laguna from FF8, Van from FF12, and Tifa from Final Fantasy 7, as well as Kain from Final Fantasy 4. So you got 6 brand new characters there. On top of that, the entire original cast makes a return, and some 2 bonus extra characters. You get Prish from Final Fantasy 11, and you get Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy 5. That is a lot of characters to play with, and surprisingly, each character plays completely different and plays well balanced in regards to the rest of the cast. I know there was a bunch of different problems that people kept complaining about as far as balance for certain characters in the original Dissidia, but a lot of the characters got rebalanced. They got new moves. A lot of the mechanics were tweaked a little bit, and the game is overall balanced as hell, and I'm really happy about that. But the really main thing is that all these new characters make an appearance. I loved playing with Lightning. I think Lightning and Kain were probably some of the best new characters out of the whole entire cast. I haven't yet to actually sit down and really play with Gilgamesh, and I'm really looking forward to that, but it's really awesome that he's into the game. Besides that, here's what also is new. They also added a brand new element to the actual fighting, and that's the assist character system. Now, what that is pretty much when characters go out and execute brave attacks, whether they hit or not, if they whiff and stuff, they actually build up this meter that has 2 separate bars. For every bar that you get, you have the ability to summon an assist character, a partner that you bring with you into battle to launch an attack onto your opponent. Now, with 1 bar, you can launch a bravery attack to increase your brave number to deal more damage later on. But if you get 2 bars charged up on the assist character meter, you could actually have your partner launch an HP attack against your partner, and you'll be able to combo into it afterwards, which is really cool. While I was playing both in story mode, offline, multiplayer, and also single-player battle arena, I was actually relying on the assist characters a lot, and it's a really good element into the game because most of the tougher fights will require you to actually use your assist character in a smart way because they are very helpful. Not only can they also, deliver attacks, no matter whether you have 1 or 2 meters, but they could actually save you from being in a jam. If you're getting comboed by someone, you could actually have your assist partner to come in and actually throw you out the way and have them take the hit instead, but at the cost of locking up your assist meter for a short period of time, which is pretty cool because it adds a whole new level of strategy to the entire game, which I thought was really awesome. But moving on from there, the story mode is where this thing really shines, because not only do you have a long story mode for this new game, which is pretty much a new story that's a prequel to the original events of what happened in Dissidia 1, which pretty much stars all the new characters, even though the original cast does make an appearance, but for the most part, the new story is centered around the new characters, the 6 or 7 new characters. But as soon as you finish the original story of Dissidia Duodecim, you unlock the entire original campaign from the first Dissidia Final Fantasy. That is freaking value, people. And what's awesome about it is that it's not just the same mechanics as far as, scrolling through the little I want to see the little menus to choose which story from any one of the original 12 characters from the first game, but you get all the elements from the from Dissidia Duodecim implemented into the original story, which is cool because you get all those CG cutscenes. And what's brand new to the actual series this time, they actually have this world map, which you could have whatever character you're using at the current moment or whatever chapter you are in the story. You could actually roam around this large map, which looks like a classic Final Fantasy 1 or any one of the 2D Final Fantasy maps. They could just walk around and go to different areas, fight different enemies that are on the map, because you could actually see them and even avoid them while you're running around, find items, go to these gates, which pretty much they had these little gates on the actual map, which once you enter them, it plays very similar to how the original Dissidia Final Fantasy's board system was, where pretty much you have this statue where you roam, go to different spots on the board. You could engage enemies, find items, and stuff like that. But as opposed to being just figurines this time, your characters actually move. You can actually see them moving and expressions and stuff like that and reacting to what goes on the game board, which is awesome because it is such, even though it's a little touch on there, it gives such a different experience and such a vast improvement to the overall presentation of the game. So to be honest with you, the story mode is incredible. There is tons of value coming out of there. On top of that, you also get the offline single-player mode, which offers 3 different modes. You have the original arcade battle system, which pretty much was from the original Final Fantasy, Dissidia Final Fantasy, where you could play up from 5 to 10 to 30, even up to 50 different battles against different opponents, and unlock all these goodies and stuff that you could use for later on. But on top of that, you also get this dungeon mode, which kind of plays like a different type of RPG, where you get a party of different characters of your choosing, and you actually go through different areas or different levels of this dungeon, fighting enemies, discovering new items, and all these little goodies in there, which is really cool. You will spend a lot of time with just that mode alone, let alone the story mode, which is pretty much 2 giant campaigns into one. But this one offers a lot of time and a lot of different things for you to discover. On top of the arcade mode, on top of the dungeon mode, you also have what's really cool and what's brand new to the series, which totally blew me away, was the scenario creation mode. Now, to be honest with you, this scenario creation mode is still kind of, I guess you want to say, a work in progress, but just for the simple fact that it's in the game, it allows you pretty much to set up your own scenarios with your own text, with your own actual specific characters and little storyline for however long you choose. And you could actually send it to other players via ad hoc mode, which is really cool. You could exchange campaigns with each other, which is phenomenal. Now, it would have been cool to actually be able to maybe get cutscenes. Maybe even if they didn't have any dialogue, you could still put little text dialogue into there. That would have been cool. You could probably set them up on your own maps and stuff. That would have been sweet, to be honest with you, but I can understand the limitations Square Enix must have had with the actual UMD, because for what you're getting on here, it's a lot, because pretty much UMDs can only hold about 2 gigabytes worth of actual stuff inside of them. And to see all this different types of game modes and goodies and different, nods to Final Fantasy in there is, awesome. It's completely blows your mind. But this scenario mode, even though it's still kind of, not quite there yet, it is still awesome to have in there, and it's still something brand new that you're actually going to get a really good kick out of, exchanging campaigns with your friends. Now, besides that, obviously, we got to talk about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is very similar to how the original Dissidia Final Fantasy was, with the friend cards, the ghost exchange, the ghost cards you could unlock and get from different people, or even different passwords and stuff from the original Dissidia Final Fantasy. But this time, they have a bunch of little kind of customization options, both for your friend card and for the actual kind of background and stuff. You get like these little themes and stuff that you could do for like these little like wallpapers and stuff, which looks really cool. And to be honest with you, it adds a whole new level of kind of like personalization to the whole friend cards aspect. So that way when you go out and you start battling people via ad hoc mode or whatever and stuff, your card, pretty much is your card. It's your individual card. No 2 cards are going to look the same. Eventually at some point they will, but for a while it won't look the same as anybody else's, because it'll be your ghost, your card, your items, your own look, your own type of AI. So it's really, 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 really cool. On top of that, guys, all the different goodies you're going to find in there. There's a ton of new music, this time around. All the original music makes an appearance, but you get all these brand new tracks for all the new characters, and from some even new ones for some of the original cast, which I was surprised to see, because they had tracks like, I want to say, they had tracks from Final Fantasy 13, some remix tracks for some of the other games and stuff. They have new tracks for anywhere from Final Fantasy 1 all the way to Final Fantasy 10. You know, they have some new tracks from Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 12. It's really cool. You're going to get a really good kick out of a lot of the music that's in this game. Even on the world map, each character, depending on who you're choosing, gets their own individual world map theme from their respective game. That's really cool. That's a lot of fan service into this one UMD drive. So, bottom line, as you guys could tell, I love this game. And one thing I should mention that's really, really, really important. If you played the original Dissidia Final Fantasy and you spent however much time with it, whether it was a couple hours all the way to 100 plus hours, one thing's really, 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 really awesome. You could actually import your saved data from the original Dissidia into this new game. And not only that, you have the option of starting over fresh with all your characters, with all the characters unlocked. Or you could choose the New Game Plus option, which you have everything unlocked that you purchased in the original Dissidia Final Fantasy, plus all your characters that you leveled up could be leveled up fully to max from how you had them in your original game. That means everybody that you had at level 100 could be transferred over as level 100 character into this game. So it's pretty cool because sometimes you might not want to, you know, level up the same character again, so it's good to maybe breeze through the campaign or actually just go back to the original way how you originally play them with all these new techniques and new moves that all these characters from the original game are getting. So that's a really good plus. On top of that, if you had Dissidia Prologus, which was the prequel to this game, coming out, it was on the PSN. You could still download it on the PSN. If you completed the main story on that particular download, you can unlock Ares from Final Fantasy VII as an assist character for any one of your characters on there. So that is pretty freaking awesome, to be honest with you. On top of that, okay, there's also, depending on where you pre-ordered it, I believe if you pre-ordered the game at GameStop, you could actually get an unlockable costume for Cloud that makes him look like the Cloud from Kingdom Hearts. Pretty much the whole Kingdom Hearts outfit that he has on there if you pre-ordered it from GameStop. That's pretty cool. Okay, there's a lot of value that you're going to get out of this game. I'm telling you guys right now, this game is probably my pick for best PSP game of 2011 because what's really sad, you know, I want to put out there is that this is probably the last major PSP 1 game that's going to be coming out, you know, being released. I know there's a couple others that came out. There was Naruto and there was Lego Star Wars 3, but this is like the last big AAA title for the PSP. The PSP 1, I should say, before the NGP drops, because when the NGP comes out, we're going to get things like Uncharted and all these other games and stuff. So it's pretty cool to see this actual handheld system go out with a bang. I am really happy with this. This game is awesome. If you haven't checked it out and you haven't picked it up, you definitely need to pick up this game because it is really worth your time playing. But anyway, whether you're a Final Fantasy fan or not, this game is awesome. Leave your comments and your video responses. I don't mind, guys. Just keep it civil. Let me know what you guys think of this whole thing. If you think this game is awesome, some of your favorite characters, if you hate the game, what do you think is wrong with the game, put it in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. VenomousFatman is out. That was only the goddamn truth, people. I'll talk to you all later.